$400 a month. That's the exact amount of hard-earned cash big supplement brands are quietly vacuuming out of your wallet every single month. And you want to know the real kicker? They're doing it by selling you tiny fancy plastic bottles filled with extracts from the common plants you're probably stepping on right now. Walk into any modern health store today and you'll see an entire wall of glossy labels. They sell you expensive pills like resveratrol ficetine or whatever new cellular booster they're hyping up this week. Each one costs anywhere between $40 and $200. But here's the catch that the commercial market hopes you never figure out. Every single one of those expensive synthetic compounds on that shelf was first found inside a living, breathing plant. They took the plant from the dirt extracted, the chemical concentrated it through a barcode on a bottle, and priced hard-working people completely out of the solution. But those same plants are growing in ditches and backyards all across the country for pennies. They grow themselves back every single spring without a single corporate marketing budget. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to grow 6 of these master plants yourself and how to fit the whole outdoor setup into just a single 25-gallon container on your porch or balcony. Seriously though, right now inside your body there's a silent battle going on. As we get older, certain cells inside our tissues stop dividing, but they stubbornly refuse to die off. I just call them zombie cells. They sit inside your body leaking inflammatory signals that slowly poison every single healthy, hard-working cell around them. By the time you reach 60, these zombie cells accumulate and clog up your tissues like thick brown rust sitting inside old copper pipes. Meanwhile, those protective caps at the ends of your chromosomes, your telomeres are shortening like a burning candle wick. And your internal cleanup crew, what tech bros like to call autophagy, just stops showing up. When that cleanup crew stops showing up, cellular trash piles up in your body, your internal power plants fail and your muscles lose their strength. To top it off, every time you eat sugar or processed carbs, that sugar permanently bonds to your proteins, locking your joints and leaving your skin looking totally dull. You're essentially being caramelized from the inside out by your own diet. Sounds crazy, but it's true. The supplement industry wants you to think the only way to fight these forces is to hand over your credit card. But your little patch of sun is your real asset, not their store shelves. Let's start right inside your kitchen with the first 2 plants, the ones you can start growing today without even touching a bag of dirt. Take broccoli. You've definitely bought it at the store. But honestly, we've all been eating it completely wrong. You buy it fully grown, steam it on a plate, and think you're getting the full benefit. You aren't. The specific compound that activates over 200 protective genes in your body is concentrated almost entirely in the tiny sprout. When a broccoli seed sprouts and is only 3 to 5 days old, it contains up to 100 times more of a compound called sulforaphane than the mature vegetable sitting in your fridge right now. Think about it, eating a single handful of these little guys gives you the same defensive punch as eating a massive giant basket of full-grown broccoli. This compound kicks your internal recycling system right back into gear. Some scientist actually won a Nobel Prize back in 2016 just for proving how this cleanup works. But you don't need $1 million laboratory to tap into it. Our grandparents didn't buy plastic bottles of vitamins. Back in the day, they sure as hell didn't have these fancy capsules in the 90s. Yet they stayed sharp and strong just by using what was on the counter. For this, you just need a standard mason jar sitting in your kitchen. Take a tablespoon of raw broccoli seeds, soak them in water overnight, and drain them the next morning. Rinse them with fresh water twice a day, and within 3 to 5 days, you'll have a jar packed to the brim with fresh sprouts. No expensive fertilizers, no direct sunlight, and no massive garden plot required. Throw them raw into a morning smoothie or on top of your lunch. Now, right next to that jar, you're going to put the second plant in our kitchen setup, heirloom purple wheat sprouts. The commercial health market loves to sell a compound called spermidine because centenarians, people who live past 100, maintain crazy high levels of it. Big brands catch wind of this, extract it, and sell it back to you for a premium. But the single richest dietary source of it is just basic wheat germ. Instead of buying processed versions, you can sprout heirloom purple wheat berries right on your kitchen counter using that exact same mason jar method. We use the heirloom purple variety because modern hybrid grains have been altered so much, they've lost a lot of their original value. The sprouting process multiplies the active compound inside the grain within 3 days. Think of it like this. Your cell cleanup is a locked room. Heirloom wheat and broccoli sprouts are 2 different keys. By keeping 2 small jars rotating on your kitchen counter, one for broccoli seeds and one for heirloom wheat berries, you open both independent doors to your cellular cleanup crew at the exact same time. Total cost is just a bag of raw grain and some seeds. Now, let's step outside to the porch or balcony for the plants that handle the rest of the damage. There's a fruit you probably bought this very month, but you're throwing away the exact part that contains the strongest tool ever tested for destroying zombie cells. The Mayo Clinic tested this stuff head-to-head against other plants. They were looking at a compound called fisetin. And guess what? The data showed fewer health issues and noticeably longer lifespans. That didn't come from a supplement company trying to sell you a subscription box either. But get this, the richest source isn't some weird, expensive berry from the Amazon. It's just the regular strawberry. But here's what the commercial market never mentions on the label. The green leaf of the strawberry plant contains incredibly high concentrations of these exact same bioactive elements. Our grandparents didn't buy plastic bottles of vitamins back in the day. They just brewed strawberry leaf tea in the morning. Grandmothers kept dried leaves in the cabinet the same way we keep coffee today. That tradition faded when the big brands figured out how to isolate the chemical, put it in a capsule, and charge you $40 a bottle. The best part, the whole damn plant grows like a weed in a simple hanging basket. If you pick Alpine or ever-bearing strawberry varieties, they will thrive on a balcony with basic watering. Eat the fresh berries to clear out zombie cells, dry the green leaves for your morning tea, and you just cut out another recurring supplement bill. Our 4th master plant handles the countdown clock on your chromosomes. There's a simple green leaf that has been brewed for over 1,000 years to protect the ends of your genetic code from unraveling. The people who live the longest on this planet drink it every single day of their lives, while the rest of the world buys the active compound e.g. CG in a plastic capsule and pays 10 times the price. You know this plant is green tea or Camellia sinensis. The natural compound inside it supports your telomere length and activates the very enzyme that keeps your cells from wearing down. It handles cold winters surprisingly well and grows into a sturdy, beautiful shrub right in a regular patio pot. It prefers slightly acidic soil, consistent moisture, and a bit of afternoon shade. But remember, you need to brew loose leaves, not the powder dust stuffed into cheap paper tea bags at the supermarket. Loose leaves deliver significantly more active compounds into your cup. If you want the maximum benefit with almost none of the caffeine jitters, just throw the loose leaves into a jar of cold water and let it sit overnight in your refrigerator. Harvest the youngest green leaves at the very tip of the branches, dry them flat on a towel, and you have your own long-term asset providing daily cellular defense. But here's the real twist that nobody selling you a bottle of health pills will ever admit. You can grow all these incredible plants perfectly, but 60% of the people watching this video right now will get absolutely zero benefit from them. Let that sink in for a second. Big brands love to show you slick commercials of people smiling with a bottle of pomegranate extract, claiming it rebuilds your dying cellular power plants. What they leave out is the actual human biology. The science shows only about 40% of normal adults actually have the gut bugs needed to break that fruit down. If your gut environment is completely ruined by processed foods and commercial chemical sprays, you can eat all the expensive fruit or take all the pills you want, and it'll just pass right through your system untouched. It's exactly like throwing premium fuel into a truck with a broken fuel pump. Look, if you're hunting for a magic pink pill to fix 40 years of bad choices overnight, turn off this video. This channel isn't for you. There are plenty of flashy fake videos out there selling that garbage. Go watch those. But if you're a real gardener who understands that True self-reliance is built with sweat, good dirt, and a little bit of patience. Then you know that your body's internal soil needs to be cared for just like your garden. Subscribing to this channel right now isn't about following a social media trend. It's an investment in your own long-term independence from their commercial supply chain. Let's look at our fifth plant, which fixes how those compounds actually get absorbed by your body. It's a golden root used across the ancient world for thousands of years, and you've definitely heard of it: turmeric. It acts like an emergency brake for deep hidden inflammation throughout your body. When you dial down that baseline inflammation, you protect your cells from the main force that accelerates all other aging factors at the exact same time. But the funny thing is, the way 90% of modern people consume it delivers absolutely zero benefit to their actual cells. Raw curcumin has a terrible absorption rate inside your digestive tract. Your body dumps it out almost immediately. But old kitchens solved this problem thousands of years before modern laboratories had a name for it. If you combine raw turmeric root with a pinch of black pepper and a healthy fat like raw coconut oil, your body's absorption of that compound jumps by 2,000%. To grow it, don't waste your money on commercial seed packets. Just buy a couple of plump, organic raw turmeric roots from a local market and bury them in the dirt in the spring. It absolutely loves warmth, plenty of moisture, and a little bit of filtered afternoon shade. When the leaves turn yellow and drop in the late fall, dump the pot. You'll find a massive cluster of fresh golden roots where you originally planted just one. Save a couple of roots in a dry box of sand to replant next spring and grind the rest into your kitchen oil for a zero-cost inflammation shield. The sixth plant on our list handles your failing cellular power plants, the mitochondria. There's an ancient fruit tree you can grow right on your patio for the cost of a basic sapling, the dwarf pomegranate. When you feed your gut microbes the raw materials from this fruit, they convert those compounds into urolithin, provided your gut environment is healthy. This is the exact molecule that clears out your old damaged mitochondria and forces your cells to replace them with fresh, high-output power units. In actual clinical trials with real human beings, older adults taking this compound daily gain 12% more pure muscle strength in just 4 months without changing their exercise habits. A major biotech company instantly patented that exact molecule under a brand name and now charges a fortune for a tiny monthly supply of capsules. But you can get the exact same raw material from a beautiful dwarf pomegranate tree growing right on your balcony. Dwarf pomegranate varieties thrive inside containers they love full baking sun, and they're incredibly drought tolerant once their roots find the bottom of the pot. They're completely self-pollinating, meaning you only need one single tree to get a full harvest of fruit within 2 to 3 years. Juice the fresh fruit. Keep your gut microbes healthy with whole foods so they can do the conversion work and let your own patio tree rebuild your physical stamina for free. Now here is how you stack all 4 of these outdoor assets into that one single space. You do not need a tractor, a multi-acre farm, or even a patch of grass. You just need one large 25-gallon container set down on your porch or balcony. Right in the dead center of that large container plant, your dwarf pomegranate tree to act as the tall anchor for your setup. Right under the shade of that tree where the soil stays warm, but gets filtered light from the branches above, bury your raw turmeric roots. Right around the rim of that bucket tuck in your alpine strawberries, so their green leaves and red fruit drape over the sides. And right beside it, or shared in the same space if your container is wide enough, place your green tea plant where it can catch the partial shade. 10 years ago, people thought you needed an entire greenhouse to manage your health. But honestly, nature keeps it simple if you know how to stack your assets. One single pot handles your outdoor defense, while your countertop jars handle the kitchen side with your broccoli and wheat sprouts. If you went out to the commercial market today and tried to buy high-end supplement bottles for all these specific active compounds, the math is brutal. Your monthly supplement bill would easily run you $300 to $500. That's hard-earned cash down the drain just to support a corporate supply chain that expects you to pay for convenience. But the dirt doesn't care about your bank account or some corporate profit margin. It just wants water, sun, and a little compost. The real answers to long-term health have always been sitting right here, growing completely free in plain sight, just waiting for someone to finally look down at the dirt. Look, the planting window doesn't stay open forever. So, before you head out to find your seeds, leave a comment below with your specific growing zone or area, along with the exact health issue you're currently spending too much money on at the pharmacy counter. Let's see exactly what your local dirt can do about it in our next video. That little pot on your porch is your real bank account. Stop letting big brands spend your hard-earned cash. Let's get your hands dirty.